After being taught a few spelling tests by Wu Shen, Rong was extremely happy and said, "My dear husband, you are truly amazing, just as I thought. Having you by my side makes everything better. I will go shower first and have something interesting for you to see." Wu Shen calmly replied, "Sure, it seems that even after a battle, you still look very energetic. A few more battles won't be a problem, but it seems like at home. How many wives are there?" About half an hour later, Yu Rong came out sweetly and said, "You villain, come here." Entering a luxurious room, she said, "I haven't seen you in a month. All I could think of was your appearance, so I asked the design department to design clothes for you for different seasons according to my ideas. Let's see if there is anything you like." Wu Shen was amazed when he entered the room, so he took a look around. Then he hugged Yu Rong's waist and said, "I love all of Rong's designs, and all of them are wonderful, especially the designer herself, like you, Rong." Yu Rong replied, "Stop saying nonsense. Try them on." So Wu Shen immediately put on the street boy outfit and he asked Yu Rong, "How do I look?" Yu Rong gazed at him admiringly, as if wanting to eat him up, and replied, "Husband, you look truly unforgettable." Yu Rong then sat on top of Wu Shen, leaving the rest to the imagination. Wu Shen realized she wanted to play around, so he quickly said, "We've been here all day and I haven't mentioned anything about business yet. Let's talk about work first." Seeing her loving husband's firm stance, Yu Rong muttered, "Fine, annoying," but eventually yielded, "Talk about work then." Staying in that position, Wu Shen recounted how the Wu family replaced the Dong family in the Zhongdong project. Yu Rong stated, "That's all, but our family's main business is fashion. I can't use half of our family's assets to do what the Dong family does. My money is for pursuing Ding Duanlong." Wu Shen solemnly said, "Rong, this is my plan. Our company will produce many TV series in succession, and your company will be the sole advertising sponsor. By then, the stock price of Jianlin will experience a growth wave. Additionally, we should start establishing a business department overseas and seize the opportunity to enter Zhongdong, where there are not only oil resources and princes, but also a vast labor market. You can then collaborate with Kingmin to establish a high-end jewelry brand that produces special jewelry for royal families in different countries. Trust me, you will definitely make a lot of money." Wei confidently replied, "This way, the capital shortage issue will be completely solved. Once the Liu family has established good relations with the Wu family, you can allow the Ding, Liu, and Ma families to invest in the two brands. Then, the Wu family replacing the Dong family will not encounter any obstacles." Upon hearing this, Yu Rong excitedly responded, "Ah, so you've been thinking about big things behind my back after not seeing me for a month." Wu Shen playfully pinned her down and said, "Rong, you're becoming more mischievous." He then stood up and said, "I will meet with Li later to discuss work. Yang, make sure to arrange what I just told you. I will come to see you in a few days." Half an hour later, Wu Shen was having a few cups of tea with Boss Lai, enjoying some pastries. Wu spoke up, "Boss Lai, I have something I want to learn." Lei chuckled at Wu Shen's polite tone. "Haha, what are you joking about? Just tell me if there's something I can help you with. No need to beat around the bush." Wu Shen said, "Boss Lai, I hope that sister-in-law can take some time to collaborate with Zhao Yi from my company just to have her act in a TV show and guide some newcomers. I feel a bit hesitant." Lei took a sip of tea and replied, "Well, that's very polite of you. You called Man Ying your sister-in-law, so she's not an outsider. Supporting our cause is not a family matter after all." Wu Shen continued, "Boss Lai, I assure you this film will not affect sister-in-law's acting career. It will surely get a huge number of views, fame, and top ratings." Lei signaled, "I've told you many times already if I can help you. That's enough. I don't pay attention to other matters. Being courteous will only make me angrier." Wu Shen smoothly poured tea and said, "Boss Lai, I'm not being courteous. Business is business. We need to plan carefully. The Yin family will take some time to merge the media before that. I want you to invest in Xiao Dai's company so her web series and short films can reach the international market and be released both domestically and internationally." Old Lei asked, "Did the girl come to my house last time?" Old Li happily boasted, "My body has already followed Xiao Dai. The things she does are quite interesting. Mei Ying introduced her to me. Look, I'm still following her, so it's not like you're bringing money to me. Don't worry and just say a word and I will follow this project immediately." So Wu Shen told Boss Li about the super project Zhongdong, and Old Lei said, "Turns out the amount of money to lure Ding Duanlong has increased so quickly. No wonder you are worried like this. My brother, if you need anything, don't hide it. Just tell me directly." Wu Shen replied, "For now, there's nothing. I'll ask my sister-in-law to schedule it for me." Old Li said, "No problem, cheers." Half a day later in Majo, Xiao Dai and Xiao Yi were rehearsing their roles, and they must say their bodies couldn't be hotter. Xiao Dai said, "Xiao Yi, Let's stop practicing here today. Let's prepare to disperse. A while later, Xiao Dai answered the phone. Hello, Mr. Guru Ba. What's the matter? Guru Ba on the other end of the line said, Miss Zhuang, a sudden important client has come, can't explain over the phone. Quickly bring Xiao Yi to the office. Upon hearing that, he turned back to Xiao Yi and said, all right, Mr. Guru Ba. A moment later at the office, Guru Ba introduced Miss Zhuang. This is Boss Lin. It would be best for you to directly discuss your plans with Miss Zhuang here. Boss Lin spoke up. Hello, ladies. I used to do business in coal and have some small assets. Recently, I have noticed the beauty and talent of Miss Zhao, so I have come up with some ideas. I am willing to invest $2 billion to sign a transfer agreement with Miss Zhao. In the future, I will take on the role of managing her career and acting as her representative. I hope Miss Zhuang will not refuse. Xiao Dai whispered in amazement. What? This Guru Ba? This is the big business deal he's talking about. As for Xiao Yi, she felt a bit pressured and hesitant at this moment. Boss Lin raised his voice. Miss Zhuang, your recent short film has gained some attention, but after deducting costs, the profit from a single film does not exceed 10,000. To earn $2 billion, even with all the favorable conditions, it will still take 3 to 5 years. I don't think you should think too much about it. Miss Zhou, here you are just one of their artists, but with me you will be number one. All our resources will be invested in you. Trust me, you'll thrive even better. At this point, Rupa said, Boss Lin, excuse me. I have to go outside and have a few words with Miss Zhuang. Boss Lin replied, go on. Come back quickly. Xiao Dai said, Mr. Guru Ba, we have to ask Mr. Wu about this. Rupa said, Miss Zhuang, we will benefit a lot from this. Zhao Yi only worked for a month with no special connection to us. Just by transferring, we'll gain 900 million. I believe Mr. Wu will agree. The company has extra funds. We can find and train a few talented people to Zhao Yi's level. It's extremely easy. Xiao Dai excitedly thought, earning 900 million from Mr. Wu like this, I will no longer be a nuisance to Mr. Wu. Later, Old Lin asked, have these two reached an agreement? Xiao Dai spoke up, I think we. But before finishing, Xiao Yi interrupted, Boss Lin, everything I do is for my development, but everyone understands you only want my body and want to support me, right? But I am Mr. Wu Shen's woman. Mr. Wu will definitely not agree. Hearing this, Guru Ba and Xiao Dai were shocked at Xiao Yi's attitude, but Guru Bai's face turned pale as he whispered, what Miss Zhuang? She belongs to Mr. Wu. Since when? Why do I know anything? Xiao Dai said, is this true? I just found out too. So Guru Ba quickly ran out and said softly, let's not guess anymore. I have to call Mr. Wu. On the other end, Wu Shen said, what? Did you ask Zhao Yi if she is my woman? Wu Shen thought, last time, Zhou Yi volunteered to sacrifice herself because of a troublesome matter. Maybe this time she also has a plan, and her next mission is not easy either. Wu Shen then solemnly warned, Boss Gu, stop Boss Lin's plan for now. Wait for me to come back to Shanghai tomorrow, and then we'll decide. After listening to Guru Ba's phone call, Wu Shen said, Xiao Yi's problem has been temporarily resolved, but I still have to go to Shanghai tomorrow. While sitting and working, he thought, there must be someone with power pursuing Zhao Yi. I feel like this is not as simple as it seems to others. Various possibilities came to his mind, but the most likely one is, yes, that's right. There is indeed a force behind Boss Lin. It turns out to be the Sang family. Her background is not simple at all. I will go to Shanghai tomorrow to solve this thoroughly. The next day in Shanghai, at the company dormitory of Zhuang Xiao Dai, Wu Shen walked into Xiao Yi's room and teasingly asked, my lady, have you finished arranging everything? Let's go meet Boss Lin, shall we? Teased by Wu Shen, Zhao Xiao Yi blushed slightly and hesitantly replied, last night I had no other choice, so. Feeling a bit frustrated, she burst into tears and said, in Wenzhou, I gave you all my precious belongings, but if you had done it that day, why is it so complicated now? I just want to perform well and live a peaceful life. Why is it so difficult? She then removed her coat confidently and said loudly, Chairman, please accept me. I will be your woman. Sadly, the author did not allow the viewers to witness the essence of humanity in this scene. Wu Shen, observing closely, chuckled and said to Xiao Yi, you have to become my woman in order to go perform, right? Going with Boss Lin or the young Master Tam's brother, they wouldn't allow you to perform, would they? Xiao Yi responded indignantly, they are not as good as the president. You are 100 times more handsome than them. Moreover, I have admired the president immensely since the first time I met him, then seeing what you did in Pingzhou on TV. I like you even more, so if it's you, I'm willing to devote myself wholeheartedly. Wu Shen, and seeing her determined expression, said, Admiration is one thing, but the important thing is, do you like me? Xiao Yi determinedly continued, my acting talent just needs efforts 5 or 10 times more than others, then I will surely have a place in the film industry. Does the president understand me? What I mean is, we need to solve the issues of food and work first, then we can think about love. Wu Shen asked, so what if you follow me? Do you have any plans for your own work? Xiao Yi replied, if it's a small goal, then it's to surpass the famous superstar Man Ying. Wu Shen's expression changed in shock. Surpassing Man Ying is just a small goal. You should know that Tao Man Ying is one of the top superstars at the peak of her career with the highest number of fans in the domestic market. He observed Xiao Yi's demeanor now, making him think to himself, it seems that I can see the figure of Ru Bing and Sister Wrong behind her. It seems that my resistance to these charming girls is too weak, but now I can't give her another identity, lest she becomes too arrogant and ruins the new film. Then it will definitely be a loss. Wu Shen, with his good boy nature, immediately picked up Xiao Yi's outerwear and said, Xiao Yi, if you really want to strive for your dream, I will support you until the new movie is released. Xiao Yi happily accepted his temporary offer and asked, really, truly, President? Wu Shen scanned her from head to toe and replied, am I joking? All right, quickly put on some clothes. Let's go meet Boss Lin. Xiao Yi suddenly realized that she had been speaking while only wearing lingerie, feeling a bit embarrassed. However, she quickly ran to hug Wu Shen and said sweetly, wait, President, if you pretend to be a woman in front of others, you should act a bit more realistically. So Xiao Yi took the initiative to leave a hanky on Wu Shen's neck. Wu Shen thought, she's so agile and skillful, I can't refuse, and hugged Xiao Yi back as they marked their territory with a hickey on each other's necks. Shortly after, the two of them went to meet Boss Lin in a very affectionate manner, with the two hickeys causing everyone in the room to be amazed. Boss Lin asked, is Miss Chow really Mr. Wu's person? Guru Bei's face turned pale, sweating profusely as he thought, oh shit, Dan, almost sold my sister-in-law yesterday, she just left. Stay calm, Ruba. Pretend, maybe Mr. Wu doesn't know. Wu Shen sat down, called Xiao Dai and Xiao Yi over. He said, Boss Lin, this company is only for these two women. Filming is just for their entertainment. If you can't figure this out, maybe you don't know what's behind the Siang family either. With his boss-like demeanor, Wu's authority was no different from that of ancient kings. Old Lin replied, what Siang family? Mr. Wu, what are you talking about? Wu Shen seriously said, don't pretend to be clueless. What you do is useless, Boss Lin. Please leave. The door is on the right. No need to escort you. Old Lin, red-faced and furious, could only leave in embarrassment. Everyone looked at Wu Shen in astonishment, all with the same question. Mr. Wu, why mention the Siang family? What's going on? Boss Lin is just a pawn controlled by the Siang family. The Siang family has had other pawns that have interacted with us before, such as the Chai family in the real estate industry. Xiao Dai exclaimed, the Chai family? Is the Siang family seeking revenge, Mr. Wu? Wu Shen replied, the Chai family is backed by Chairman Gu, but the Siang family is still behind the scenes. The Songsuai real estate operates only in Shanghai, which is too small of a scale for them to invest in. The Siang family wants to lure Xiao Yi in because our film company is a threat to their biggest profit. In reality, the resources behind the media are also from the Siang family. All the famous online programs are invested by the Siang family. If the Liu family is the biggest source of policy resources, then the Siang family is the largest source of resources in the film industry. In the past, Tao Man Ying mainly did advertisements and only filmed a movie every few years. Lai used to pose no threat to the Siang family due to his playboy lifestyle. However, Tao Man Ying will now collaborate on a new movie with Xiao Yi, which will make it harder for the media and the Siang family due to the interference from the Yin family. Xiao Dai said, that's why they are making it difficult for our film production by pulling Xiao Yi into it. Xiao Yi thoughtfully replied, last time it was the Liu family causing trouble, now it's the Siang family. Wu Shen lounged and said, this gives us something to talk about, prepare for the storm coming. Peng Wai chimed in, what should we do? Look at this hot search, the top 7 news are all about us. With random headlines like daughter-in-law harming people, Zhao Yi, the undefeated woman, and the scary witch in Shanghai. Mr. Wu, I can't stand it anymore. Xiao Dai expressed indignation. They have gone too far, even more shameless than the Kai family. Wu Shen smiled and asked, Xiao Yi, are you scared? Xiao Yi replied impassively, not scared. Wu Shen said, if you're not scared, that's good. The bigger the waves now, the more changes we will see in the future. Wu Shen immediately called Qing Er and said, There's a lot of news about your younger brother online today, madam. Can't you come to see me to clarify everything? Kier sneered, puffing on a cigarette, saying, you haven't fulfilled the 2 conditions you promised. Do you still dare to open your mouth and ask? Wu Shen replied, who said I didn't do it? The photos of the young master will disappear completely today. The Dong family's affairs have been prearranged. You just need to pull the strings of the O family, and 30% of the profits from the Liu family will easily come to you. Qinger continued, Mr. Wu is great. If that's the case, my younger brother's business will follow you. Wu Shen said, Peng Wei, I will send the documents to you later. You have to be careful. Today we are ranked 7th in the top 10 hot girl news. Tomorrow, I want all of them to be ours. Peng Wei confidently said, okay, just watch me. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. The next day, social media welcomed the new day with hot search news. Have you seen yesterday's hot search news yet? It has changed now, the other person replied. Do you see that the man involved is denying Zhao Yi's news, and he's not even his childhood friend? The students on the other side also paid close attention. The boy in black asked, hey, have you been able to catch the huge drama like a big melon these past 2 days? The boy in yellow replied, I'm not interested in those things outside. On the contrary, the short drama of the victim is very interesting. Have you been following it? At the same time, back to Wu Shen, Peng Wei ran over excitedly and said, Brother Wu, it's wonderful. Your plan has been successfully completed. Today, all 10 most searched topics have been consolidated by us. Seeing everyone else extremely happy with his victory. Not only that, Guru Ba presented a chart and said, everyone look, the number of viewers for our short TV series on all online platforms is increasing exponentially. Xiao Dai was so shocked that she couldn't believe it. She stammered, What? It's only been half a day and the number of views has already increased to nearly 6 billion. Wu Shen immediately hugged his 2 girls and said, as I said yesterday, the reversal will have great potential. It is estimated cautiously that the number of views the next 2 days will reach 3 billion. Upon hearing this, both girls were speechless. Wu Shen looked at Zhao Yi and said, Xiao Yi, this is just the beginning. Xiao Yi happily replied, Boss, I will work even harder in the new films. Wu Shen said, the Xiang family has failed twice. They believe in Feng Shui. Belief in gods 3 times is not a failure. There will be no problem for now. Xiao Dai, don't worry too much. If anything happens, I will be by your side, okay? Xiao Dai sweetly replied, yes. Wu Shen added, in 2 days, everyone should prepare well. Wait for Tao Man Ying to arrive. Our new film will officially start filming. I have other tasks to do, so I will take the first step. Wu Shen immediately called Teruko. Hey, Teruko, I really can't escape this time. Why don't you come to Shanghai tonight? Teruko sweetly replied, Wu Shen has made an appointment this time. I really like it. I'll see you there. After hanging up, he thought that Dong Chenggang happened to be in Ma Duo today, so I had to beat him tonight. Ultimately, the Dong family is the key to victory or defeat in the He Shai Kin lineage. They must not become enemies. Change of scene. Now Wu Shen had arranged to meet Fat Dong Chenggang. Oh, you're the one who called this afternoon. Why are you alone now? Shouldn't I come to meet Teruko? Wu Shen smiled and said, don't worry, she will be here soon, but Boss Dong, Teruko has someone she likes, so I think it's best for you not to bother her anymore. The old man immediately dissatisfiedly said, who are you to now want to manage my affairs? Wu Shen replied, although it's hard to say it, the person she likes is me. The old man angrily tightened his fist and exclaimed, nerve. Just then, Teruko appeared like a heavenly fairy. Fat Dong Chenggang immediately called out, can we take a picture together? Seeing the old man acting like a child, she was puzzled and said, oh, Mr. Dong, Wu Shen. Interrupting, Wu Shen said, Boss Dong, I don't want any more trouble or proof of anything. Sensing a tense atmosphere, Teruko spoke up, Mr. Dong, don't be angry, sit down and talk slowly if you have anything to say. Being defended by the beautiful woman, the old man lowered his voice and asked, so what do you mean? Wu Shen pulled a chair for Teruko to sit down and said, it's true that Teruko likes me, but I have no relationship with her. I only see her as a close friend or even a younger sister. Anyway, recently she's been troubled by the fact that her boss has been spending a lot of money on her, so she finds it hard to refuse seriously. Upon hearing this, Taka looked very pleased, except for the part about being a friend or younger sister. At this moment, Boss Dong's face changed color, but he can say anything. Wu Shen added, Boss Dong already has a family and won't divorce for Teruko. In my opinion, what Boss Dong desires is surely not some great love, but rather experiencing some strange customs, right? He then showed pictures of 2 other hot girls and said, Teruko's appearance only fits Boss Dong's aesthetic taste. She's nothing special. There are many Japanese girls with similar looks like Grinka Kawashima or Eri Yasuda. I can introduce them to you. Pursuing Teruko would be 10 times easier. Teruko poured a drink for Boss Dong, but his face was now visibly angry. Wu Shen raised his glass and said, Boss Dong, we're all adults. There's no need to be ashamed. The old man stood up and said, all right, I won't bother Teruko anymore. All I need to say is goodbye. Seeing the old man leave, the man spoke up, wait, Boss Dong, I have something to discuss with you. The old man asked in surprise, what is it? The man mentioned the recent popular TV series produced by our company, as well as some TV series collaborations with Tao Man Ying. The filming will start soon, and he asked if Boss Dong would join and celebrate together. The old man asked skeptically, is this another piece of cake falling from the sky? Wu Shen replied, I just want to be friends with Boss Dong. Boss Dong said, even though you offended me earlier regarding Teruko, there is no need to offer money to make friends, right? Wu Shen seriously said, what kind of person wouldn't help a friend in an emergency, Boss Dong? Information about your Zhongdong project has been hacked. After the data leak, the 4 major clans will soon kick you out. Your losses will be huge. The old man had to be skeptical. When something happens, you don't fish in troubled waters, but instead come here to give me money. This is unbelievable. If there is something, there must be another motive. Wu Shen laughed and said, oh wow, I won't tell anyone about this secret. The story of Boss Dong being hacked is spreading widely in the hacker community. He handed the phone over and said, this is a computer security program that I designed, Boss Dong. You can give it a try. I guarantee you won't be hacked for the second time in your life. The old man asked, do you want to use my experience to advertise your program? He replied, the program that Boss Dong carefully selected after the accident must be kept top secret. The industry and market will pay attention to my program. Of course, it will be sold at a good price. The old man asked, in other words, are you using the money I deposited, the short videos, to advertise for you? He happily said, you can understand it that way, but I think of it as making friends with Boss Dong. The old man raised his glass with a smile. You are a sly one, but I like it because with your kindness, it's hard to refuse. Dong Cheng Gang, I'll befriend you. 3 hours after Dong Cheng Gang left, Teruko took advantage of the opportunity with only 2 people around. She immediately took off her outer shirt to reveal her stunningly large chest fruit. She seductively said, you stole someone else's information and then criticized him rightfully. You are truly despicable. Wu Shen asked Teruko, can you give me information about Dong Cheng Gang? Teruko tilted her chin. You said earlier that I can do whatever I want after the matter is finished. I have done it. Wu Shen replied, but I helped you solve a problem. He will still come bother you and spend a lot of money in the shop. I think it's fair for us to solve this matter together. Teruko couldn't take it anymore. She almost bit Wu Shen where he stood and sweetly said, Wu Shen, are you going to take back your words? How pitiful. Wu Shen immediately hugged her tightly and said, I just think keeping you clean with intelligent people would be more suitable. Teruko, seeing him take the initiative, playfully said, are you not afraid that I'll betray you and not provide information about Cheng Gang? Just return the result, no explanation needed, nothing else. No useless quotation marks or punctuation unless necessary. Wu Shen said cunningly, I won't fix it, Teruko. I already have the information. It's in your underwear, and you know it. I won't have any trouble getting it, even if I will take off your panties. First I'm being tricked by him, but she didn't get angry and said, so, Wu Shen, you really are a despicable man that people can't resist. Playing the role of a good boy, Wu Shen left Teruko's room without doing anything, waving his hands saying, I'm leaving, this room is for you, rest well, and next time, I'll come play. Outside, he received a call from Boy 2 of Tang San Bao. He whispered, Master, he answered the phone, my uncle too is injured after a day without news from you. Wu Shen replied, coincidentally, I also have something to discuss with him, so I'll go there now. Half an hour later, Wu Shen brought a bottle of beer with some grilled meat skewers, happily saying, I came in a hurry and didn't prepare any gifts for everyone. Old Tang worriedly said, Wu Shen, don't be polite with those useless people. Lately, you've been getting closer to the Liu family. What's going on? You won't forget that the Lai and Tang families want to start a conflict with the Liu family, right? Wu Shen sat down and said, the important matters of the 2 clans will not be forgotten. Our company has conflicts with the Liu family in Wenzhou. A month ago, we started cooperating with their daughter a little. Old Tang, puzzled, asked, so is the conflict resolved? Wu Shen explained, no, the secret battle between the 2 daughters of the Liu family is even fiercer than expected. Old Tang recounted, in the battle in the capital, the Liu family was as hard as metal. 20 years after the change of era, the scale of victory has leaned towards our Tang family. As Wu Shen poured himself a glass of beer, he said, in reality, the troubles of the Liu family are even more complicated. So Wu Shen informed Old Tang about the Zhongdong project, The Liu family wants to take 30% of the profits from the project, but how can the Ding family easily agree to it? In my opinion, the Ding family will definitely intervene in the dispute between the two daughters and divide the Liu family. Therefore, the Lai and Tang families will spend much fewer resources. It is best to entrust it to Miss King She is weak and easily influenced. Then she will have no choice but to cooperate with us. All the resources of the Liu family will be used by us. Mr. Tang said, it would be best if the Liu family could really do what Wu Shen said. Okay, Wu Shen, just go ahead and do it. If you need cooperation, just tell me. Wu Shen replied, then there's nothing to worry about, Boss Tang. I want a construction engineering company with strong business capabilities, able to build tunnels, bridges, and ports. The old man replied, no problem, let me arrange that. So the two of them drank all night until morning. The next day at Lai Rubing's villa, Xia Qinshi, who had just woken up at dawn, went down to the kitchen and felt a bit embarrassed when she saw Wu Shen suddenly appearing there and asked, oh, Wu, when did you arrive? Wu Shen replied, just arrived, saw you sleeping, so didn't want to wake you. Let you sleep a bit longer. I guess Xia has seen too many unpleasant scenes in the past 2 days, so she must be tired. Speaking of licking, there's no one else but Ding Duanlong. If he follows, it would be a historical event. Wu Shen made breakfast and continued. Ding Duanlong is currently in Huadong. Does it have any impact on you and Xin Xin? Ta Qinshi replied sweetly, no, we went out all night. Mother and daughter had a great time. Wu Shen then said, all right, let's have breakfast. Seeing Wu preparing breakfast for her, Xia Qinshi's heart fluttered as she thought, this is the first time in my life that a man has made breakfast for me. This feeling is truly happy. To show her gratitude, Xia Qinshi let Wu feel the weight of her breast and added a passionate kiss, saying, thank you, Wu. At that moment, the most powerful person in the harem approached and saw the affectionate scene between the two. She sneered and said, it seems like your lover is very obedient this time. Making a sarcastic remark about Wu Shen keeping his promise to come home on time, Wu Shen responded, Rubing, that's our agreement. Of course, I will keep my promise. Then they went out to the balcony to enjoy their breakfast and the fresh air. Rubing commented, finally Ding Duanlong has left and everything is back to normal. She added, after eating, we will go meet Qing Min. Wu Shen said, everyone has a really good relationship. I was actually planning to go look for her after this. Shortly after, Rubing brought Wu Shen to King Min's room. When Wu Shen arrived, King Min had not yet changed into her night clothes and ran out to greet him. Husband, finally you're back. Wu Shen asked in surprise, oh, has King Min moved here recently? Rubing smiled and said, you don't even ask her why. Feeling a bit annoyed at Wu Shen's lack of concern, King Min said, it feels like I've been away from my husband for thousands of centuries. Every night without my husband by my side feels long and difficult. Only when I wear my husband's clothes and smell his scent do I feel more comfortable. Wu Shen rushed over, embracing King Min tightly and said, silly King Min of our house. Tears streamed down King Min's face as she whispered, husband, I miss you so much. Please don't leave us for too long in the future. Can you do that? Feeling like he had neglected his wives at home for too long, Wu Shen quickly reassured her. Okay. At this moment, Mu Tian stepped out of the room, looking annoyed to see him now paying less attention to her. Tian spoke up accusingly. The big villain at home even knows how to come back. Do you know King Min has lost 56 kilograms now? Wu Shen immediately rubbed her head and said, whoa, after a month of not seeing you, our Tian has grown up. She blushed and replied, of course, King Min misses you to the point of almost collapsing, but she is busy with a lot of work. Of course, I have to help her share some. Wu Shen said, by the way, speaking of work, everyone is here to see my plan. This is a cooperation plan between King Min and the Wu family to produce a special supply of jewelry for the royal families of different countries. Upon hearing this, Rubing was a bit dissatisfied and questioned him. Even helping Yu Rong make money on her own is not enough. Now you want to involve King Min too. It seems like she doesn't like the idea of King Min being around Yu Rong. Wu Shen explained, my dear, King Min and Jinfu Corporation can also expand into the international market. She turned away angrily, and King Min asked, will this work make it easier to meet my husband? Wu Shen said, maybe. King Min happily replied, okay, I agree. Rubing immediately said, King Min, I. Wu Shen then approached to hug his sister gently, saying, my dear, these arrangements of mine are all aimed at bringing down the Ding family, not to provoke you. His sister pretended to be not easily persuaded and changed the subject, saying, is this not just adding to Tian's workload, who just started following King Min? Tian happily hugged King Min and replied, It's okay, Sister Ru Bing. We can meet more often in the future. I think it's fine. Upon hearing this, Ru Bing was surprised and thought, wow, we've become a family. Thinking about the scene of living with Wu Shen in the palace, he felt a bit embarrassed as Jiao Dai and Zhou Yi were not there yet. Wu Shen then approached and asked, "My love, why are you blushing?" His sister was still thinking about the new home. The sisterhood is now a family. Chinger on the other side. It's inconvenient to talk about this over the phone. You should probably come back to Madu. Wu Shen replied, "Hello, miss. What's the matter?" Just returned home after a month and already having to leave his wives behind, he thought, as long as the matter is not resolved, let it drag on for a few more days. Firstly, I need to spend these days with my family. Secondly, the more complicated and worse the situation is, the better I can intervene. At Majiro at Chinger's villa, the next day, seeing Wu Shen only arriving now, Chinger said indignantly, "Why are you late? Why don't you just postpone it for a week? If you're even 2 days late, we won't have to meet anymore." Seeing Chinger's somewhat stubborn and spoiled attitude, he smiled and lit a cigarette, and Wu Shen spoke. "Isn't this something I've mentioned before? Miss, have a smoke. Let's talk slowly." Chinger, seeing that he understood, opened her mouth and said, "The main issue is about the Zhongdong project. After my husband's case was resolved, his position has been restored as before, but the matter that you and my sister-in-law entrusted to my husband is almost at a standstill. Anyway, you must come to Austria." Wu Shen laughed and replied, "You are so clueless, spreading the Liu family's business to outsiders, not afraid of gossip." Chinger took a puff of her cigarette and said, "First of all, listen to me. The eldest son, or shall I call him the eldest young master, may not be in good health, but he is the eldest son of the Liu family. Outsiders dare not cause trouble under my husband's management. However, recently my eldest son's condition has suddenly worsened, and there have been incidents at my husband's office in Austria, where he colluded with foreign forces to seize power. How shameless." Wu Shen said, perhaps including young master venting his anger over the failure of the Zhongdong project, which led third young master to call me out by name. In fact, he cares about the Lai and Wu families behind me. He wants him to know that he is not the only one receiving support from foreign countries, right? Chinger, seeing that Wu Shen had guessed her thoughts, fell silent and looked at him. Wu Shen arrogantly added, "If you want me to do something, it's no problem at all. But miss, this time you should listen to my conditions first, shouldn't you?" Chinger reluctantly said, "Fine, tell me your conditions so I can see what you want." Wu Shen smirked and said, "My condition is that I want you." Miss Chinger immediately dissatisfiedly replied, "You shameless." Wu Shen quickly explained, "What I mean is that because you and I have a close relationship, we always complicate things too much. In other aspects, I am not someone who likes to take advantage of others, but you said that my courage is not small." Chinger spoke up, "All right, let's talk about the task first. The La Bridge project connecting La Porte with La City has been suspended for some complicated reasons. We need to find a way to restore it and deliver on time. This is much more difficult than before, and we have more time than the previous paintings. Moreover, we are in a foreign country. Can you handle it smoothly?" Wu Shen asked, "How specifically?" Chinger said, "The local government wastes money and neglects projects. A group of ethnic people gather to disrupt the project. All roads from the transportation port to the equipment to the construction site are destroyed. Project engineers are also disrupted to the point of almost having to pack up and go home." Wu Shen heard that this mission seems interesting. He spoke up, "Okay, I understand. Also, the process of excluding the Dong family is almost complete. The young lady will lead the Wu family to facilitate the Zhongdong project and wait for me to come back." Chinger heard his hidden meaning and asked in confusion, "What? Wait for you to come back? What else are you waiting for when you come back?" Wu Shen got up, his tone mocking. "Ha ha ha, miss, your reaction now is really interesting." Chinger remembered Wu Shen's previous condition. Her usual cold face disappeared, replaced by embarrassment when thinking about the scene of sharing a bed with Wu Shen. Holding each other close, she hesitated and said, "That." After leaving Chinger's villa, Wu Shen immediately called his brother-in-law Lai Ruqin and said, "Ruqin, how have you been lately?" Lai Ruqin replied, "It's boring hiding outside. Let's not talk about that. What do you want to tell me?" "Brother-in-law?" Wu Shen instructed, "Call Lao Dao and the rest of the guys. Bring high-profile operatives with me to Austria on a trip." Excited, Ruqin responded, "Okay, brother-in-law, that sounds fun." The next day, Wu Shen, Lao Dao, and Ru Qin arrived in Austria at a construction site. Curious, Ru Qin asked, "Why didn't you tell us and bring us to a construction site like this, brother-in-law?" Wu Shen replied, "Follow me. You will understand soon. Let's go inside." Shortly after, Wu Shen knocked on a door saying, "Hello, I'm Wu Shen, the new project manager. Are all the local workers home yet?" Inside, the charming girl with a honey-colored skin couldn't help but introduce herself more. Hello, Mr. Wu. My name is Lisa. After the Hua engineers returned to Huaxia, the workers couldn't do anything and all went home. Wu Shen said, if you have nothing to do, be my assistant temporarily. The new engineers will come in 3 days. Please inform the workers in advance and ask them to return to work in 3 days. Lisa replied, all right, I understand. Wu Shen added, next, I will go find a tribe that caused trouble, and you be my interpreter. Upon hearing this, Lisa hesitated a bit and replied, it's quite difficult to get involved in that. Everyone then went to find that tribe, but Lisa still seemed worried. Ru Qin spoke up, we have my brother-in-law here with us. What are we afraid of? Not to mention one tribe. Even if there are 10 tribes, my brother-in-law can handle them all. Hearing Ru Qin's words, Lisa remained silent. 2 hours later, Wu Shen arrived at the base of the tribal people, but he thought they were primitive people carrying spears at most, but each of them was holding heavy weapons in their hands. Ru Qin whispered fearfully, brother-in-law, these guys have AK-47s but are still called a tribe. This tribe is so weird. Entering the center of the base, an old man with a retinue of servants full of water. After hearing the Wu Shen group speak, the old man spoke up, restore those small roads for the bridge project. Not only did those roads disrupt the paths of over 10 tribes who used to fetch water, and they have to take a detour for hours, taking over 10 hours to go back and forth. We can't do anything else today. Ru Qin started to lose patience. He teasingly said, with so many servants like this in the retinue, there must be a lot of work to do in a day, right? Wu Shen said, Ru Qin, be patient. Wu Shen continued, so the biggest issue is the water collection problem. Then let the engineers choose a location to help the people dig wells. This common task should not be difficult for the skilled engineers of Huaxia. The old man replied, I have asked those engineers to choose someone who respects our traditions and has the ability to do the job, but they themselves have not been able to find a candidate who meets the standards. Wu Shen asked, what does respecting tradition and having skills mean? The old man explained, because the land under my jurisdiction has been protected by the deities, those who wish to work on this land must be brave, chosen by the deities, following tradition. Only those who pass the test of defeating a lion with bare hands can be considered warriors of the gods. Hearing this, Ru Qin whispered, to find an engineer who can easily handle a lion with bare hands is difficult. It's hard to find someone like that in the world. He must have watched too many action movies and has delusions. Lao Dao whispered, I don't know if he could do it, but even if he can kill the lion, digging a well is still impossible. Wu Shen replied, no problem, it's just an excuse for them to stop our project. Let me handle it. Wu Shen then took off his outer cloak to reveal his muscular body and said, leader, I want to take on this challenge. Please arrange it as soon as possible. Seeing Wu Shen's confident demeanor, the old man thought, huff, if the young man wants to die, I will help him fulfill his wish. Wu Shen spoke up, jailer, if the chosen person can pass the challenge, can they bypass the intermediate step? I will immediately dig the well, and at the same time, you must remove the obstacles along the way. The old man immediately responded irritably, tradition is tradition. Having the qualifications and authority also means having the responsibility to choose carefully. Wu Shen then pointed in a direction and said, oh, then I'll just randomly pick so I choose her. Among the 3 girls in front of them, he picked one, causing the jailer to stand still in silence before turning to discuss with other senior officials. Wu Shen hesitantly asked Lisa, what are they negotiating about? Is there some taboo ritual? Lisa replied, no, Mr. Wu, you just chose the jailer's daughter. Upon hearing this, Wu Shen was shocked, and Lao Dao and Lai Ru Qin were speechless. Ru Qin's dark mind immediately imagined the scene of Wu Shen facing the challenge with the jailer's daughter and then leading 2 children out to greet them. Hello, Aunt. Hello, Uncle Qin. Lai Ru Qin said, brother-in-law, your choice is really speechless. After a discussion, the old gang leader said, the procedure would be a bit more complicated if you choose my daughter, as we have to follow family traditions. Wu Shen asked, what do I need to do? The elder explained, my family was chosen as the tribe leader in ancient times because our hunting skills were excellent. We could bring back a large amount of food for the tribe. Those skills have been lost for 1,000 years, so to become a part of our family, you must be able to shoot down 5 birds at once. Wu Shen replied, I understand, but to save time, let's not go out hunting. I will buy several dozen pigeons and demonstrate my skills in front of you. Is that okay? The old man laughed and said, ha ha, that's confident. Approved. A moment later, when preparing for the spiritual warrior challenge, Ru Qin spoke up, brother-in-law, I'm ready. Wu Shen immediately showed off some skills, pulling out a shotgun and spinning it around very professionally. This is the first way. Next, he raised his bow, shooting 3 arrows at once, just like Hawkeye's disciple. This is the second way, and this is the third way. Wu Shen used a small stone to shoot like shooting marbles all at once to complete the first challenge of catching pigeons. Wu Shen asked, "Is it enough? Do I need to show in any other way?" The old man, a little scared by Wu Shen's abilities, replied, "No need, no need." Wu Shen said, "Thanks to some skilled workers preparing equipment, tomorrow we will dig a well together." The next day, the local people were happy to witness a new source of water. We have water, we have water. In the future, we can also get water right next to our door without having to go far. Ru Qin said, "Brother-in-law, I didn't expect you to have this ability. Where did you learn these things from?" Suddenly, Lisa rushed over and said, "Mr. Wu, the city government just issued a notice saying that our project did not pass, and all aspects of the project did not meet the standards." Wu Shen spoke up, "Let's go, Ru Qin. We need to meet with the leaders here. You need to act a bit." Curious, Ru Qin asked, "What should I do, brother-in-law?" Mysteriously, Wu Shen replied, "You'll find out when you come with me. Lao Dao asked the security guards to protect the well. Don't let anyone damage it." Lao Dao then led a group of people to protect the well. After a while, Wu Shen went to meet with the senior leaders of the area and said, "Hello, leaders. I am the new project manager of the Law Bridge project. Here are supplementary documents." The leader asked, "If you need to submit documents, go to the office. What are you doing here?" Without hesitation, Wu Shen took out his phone and said, "The previous leaders were indifferent and didn't supervise properly. Now that we have taken over, everything is in chaos. I really can't understand it." He sat down and after browsing for a while, he said, "Finally found the transaction information between the Liu and Ding families to clarify everything." The old man was provoked by them and immediately stood up and said, "What nonsense are you talking about the Liu and Ding families? What transactions? What transfers?" Wu Shen then insidiously presented evidence, saying, "I am an intelligence merchant. I know all the movements of the Huaxia merchants. I also have many connections in the dark web and hacker world. If the leader wants me to prove it, I don't mind." Instantly digging up all of his affairs from the past 10 years, the old man could no longer show off and could only keep silent. Wu Shen then made a gesture. "I am not here to threaten you. I want to discuss cooperation." Wu Shen then used the tactic of sweet words, and when he saw that the fish had taken the bait, he continued, "First of all, the security level of your accounts is very low. If you are hacked, your efforts for those accounts will be in vain. I am here to help you upgrade your information security and make your accounts safe. If you lose money in the future, I will compensate you for the lost amount. Moreover, you will only earn more money by working with me." Ru Qin sat on the side thinking, "I didn't expect my brother-in-law to have such exceptional deception skills, hacking into others' systems and selling security software to them. It can only be him indeed." Wu Shen glanced and said, "Ru Qin, submit the plan to renovate the commercial complex to the leader. As long as the bridge project can continue smoothly, I will help you renovate the commercial complex in the city center for free. If it is built and you have difficulty attracting investment, I can also help you." Upon hearing this, the old man responded in surprise, "What? For free? Really free?" Wu Shen smiled and said, "Of course, renovations and changes are free. However, I request that Ru Qin rents out 4 floors for free for 2 years, and I will build the most high-end club in Las Vegas. Ru Qin, present the business operations of our club to the leader." So Ru Qin immediately presented a 4K quality clip for the old man to watch. Ru Qin presented, "Both Western and Huaxia styles are available to serve all customers from local to foreign, but the special features are the classical style, heavenly dance movements, and the sophisticated light version of the meat and wine forest." After listening, the old leader praised continuously, expressing constantly interest. He said, "This is very good. This is very good. Our city of Las Vegas needs projects like this to develop." Wu Shen slammed the document down and said, "It seems like we have reached a cooperation agreement, so please sign the procedures to continue the work of the Laporte." After signing the agreement, Wu Shen and Ru Qin left. Sitting in the car, Ru Qin asked, "Brother-in-law, from the beginning, you planned for me to manage the club here, right?" Wu Shen replied, "Not necessarily. The bridge project also needs your help. Moreover, I still have a lot of work to do in Huaxia, so I can't stay in Las Vegas forever." Ru Qin hesitantly said, "Anyway, recently I have been avoiding everything, so it is best for me to help you here, just temporarily unable to go back to the country, afraid that the troublemaker, Ding Duan Long, will cause more trouble for you." Wu Shen replied, "Ding Duan Long, he can't cause any waves or threats to me." Ru Qin said, "I am afraid he is more reckless than you think." Wu Shen calmly replied, "Good." After a while, when he returned, he saw Lisa waiting for him. Wu Shen asked, "Lisa, why are you back here?" Lisa replied awkwardly, "Mr. Wu, the elder chief and the heads already know that you have taken over the leadership of Las." Wu Shen said, "What happened to him? There won't be any more strange traditions, right?" Lisa said, "No, he thinks you are great, so he brought all his daughters here. You should go see for yourself." Hearing this, Wu Shen went to see. At that moment, he was surprised and didn't know what to say about the scene in front of him. The three daughters were all stunning with perfect bodies. Wu Shen thought the mindset of the tribal chief seems to be seriously ill. If he brings 3 new wives home from this trip, Lai Ruobing's house must be closed to Wu for the night. Wu Shen said, "Lisa, translate my words for them to understand." Lisa hesitantly told the 3 girls that Mr. Wu said he will temporarily not compete with everyone. He hopes that they will learn Chinese first, and then everyone can communicate with him normally. Mr. Wu is probably just postponing, not waiting indefinitely, a lifetime of integrity. On the other end, Xiao Dai hurriedly spoke on the phone. "Mr. Wu, the Siang family is playing tricks on us again." Rupa continued, "After the new script was sent to us, the Siang family somehow found out the content, and they want to make a similar film to compete with us. The key is that they want to make a film version, hiring an entire 4th-generation retired team, directed by an excellent filmmaker and starring an Oscar-winning actress. The film is expected to be shot in half a year and released during the Lunar New Year." Xiao Dai had to quickly say, "What should we do? We are a big-scale TV series. No matter how fast we film, it would still take 10 months and it won't air until the following summer." Wu Shen smiled and said, "Don't panic. I will tell you when I come back." After hanging up the phone, Wu Shen said, "Ru Qin, I have to come back home early for a trip. It's up to you to supervise them in learning Chinese. The professional team from the Tang family will take over the construction site in 2 days. You and Lao Dao need to be careful and not let others cause trouble." Ru Qin firmly replied, "Okay, brother-in-law, don't worry, just go home. You could leave it to me here, call me anytime." The next day in Beijing, Wu Shen immediately found the young lady of the Liu family, King Er. When King Er saw Wu Shen, she asked, "Why did you come back? Is it because you couldn't survive in law or because the bridge was repaired too quickly?" Wu Shen jokingly replied, "You're being funny again. Can't you check the progress over there?" King Er slowly lit her cigarette and asked, "At the very least, you could have waited until the construction started. Why were you so eager to come back early?" Wu Shen slyly asked, "What do you think?" King Er blushed and stuttered, "It's ridiculous. I would never do that, and I never agree with you." Wu Shen chuckled, "Ha ha ha, Mrs. Reaction is even more interesting than before, but I came here for urgent matters. I need Mrs. Help." Wu Shen immediately made an intimate gesture, leaning close to King Er and whispering something, his hand touching hers, which made King Er feel a bit pressured. She replied, "What is it? I have never had support for this kind of thing before." Wu Shen calmly said, "But as long as the Liu family is willing, there is nothing difficult." King Er worriedly asked, "Is it necessary to do this?" Wu Shen firmly said, "This is a forced situation. This is the only way." King Er agreed, saying, "Okay, I will try." Wu Shen smiled and said, "All right, then I will return to Ma Duo to take care of the important matters." At this point, King Er felt a bit excited. Thinking about the prospect of spelling together with Wu Shen, she cheerfully thought, "First deal with the main tasks. In other words, do you have anything else to do with me? Wu Shen, maybe you want to do that later." The next day, the city of Ma Duo, Wu Shen arrived early at the studio of his beloved wife and Meng Lan. Seeing her beloved husband, Meng Lan could not contain her day and night yearning and immediately ran to hug him. Meng Lan said sweetly, "Wu Shen." He chuckled and replied, Lan, next time I'll have to try harder for you." Witnessing this intimate moment between the two, their friends Xiao Dai, Zhao Yi, and Ru Bao were amazed, all thinking the same thing. Superstar and Meng Lan is actually Mr. Wu's woman. Rupe asked, "Wu, are you serious? We'll enjoy the group to play the 3rd female lead." Meng Lan hesitantly replied, "I have never acted before, and I'm not sure if I can do it." Wu Shen reassured her, "It's okay. I'm the director and I will help you. Besides, the female characters are similar to you in real life. Lan, you just need to express less." Peng Wai excitedly commented, "Just the debut of a Meng Lan is enough to cause a stir online, not to mention her playing the 3rd female lead. There are many things we can control about the timeliness of the film. It's a great idea. Amazing good job." Wu Shen solemnly reminded, Lan is just the icing on the cake. The success of our film depends on the acting skills of Zhao Yi and Tao Man Ying. Everyone needs to focus on this film." Zhao Yi responded with determination, "I know, Mr. Wu. I will work diligently to not let you down." Wu Shen smiled and said, "But if we want to beat the Siang family, the key is still Miss King Er. She will convince the national TV station that our show will use the American TV series method, filming and airing at the same time, shooting and broadcasting one episode simultaneously. Hearing this unconventional approach, someone exclaimed in astonishment, "What? Filming and broadcasting a TV show at the same time? How is that possible?" Ru Ba, unable to contain his emotions, appeared shocked and speechless. Even Meng Lan was a bit worried about this unconventional approach, but Wu Shen smiled and said, "This is what NIS will do. What we need to do is ensure that the quality of each episode is equal, or even surpasses, the quality of the show." Seeing Wu Shen's bold attitude, everyone had their own expressions, from Zhao Yi and Xiao Dai's astonishment to Gu Ruba's horror. And Meng Lan expressed her concern, "Wu Shen, I know you are capable, but whether we have enough time is the real issue." Wu Shen hugged Den and said, "Don't worry, Lan. Meng Lan heard this answer. Her worries instantly disappeared and leaned on his chest. Wu Shen thought, in 1,000 years of reincarnation, this play has been directed countless times. Even when closing my eyes, the difficulty this time is actually in the back part. The film needs cinematographic quality, and my time in the back is not enough. Wu Shen confidently said, "Everyone do their part and leave the rest to me." He thought about inviting a computer master, who is ranked as the world's #1 comprehensive computer genius, to join the team, and Huang, who must be called the undefeated computer genius. If he joins the team, our difficulties will be easily solved. After a while, with a matter-of-fact style, Wu Shen proactively texted An Huang, "Do you want to play with me?" And Huang replied, "First, I'm not sure of money. Second, I'm already ranked #1 in the world, and competition is no longer meaningful. Third, I'm not interested in playing with newcomers." Wu Shen replied, "No cheating. Do you want to see this 100% speedrun record of Zelda by Rich of the White Fang Mott 82221 or not?" On An Huang's side, there was a girl with an eagerly anticipating posture with a hint of suspicion saying, "Handmade ha. It's faster than half an hour compared to the previous world record." Wu Shen smiled, then sent a file and a message. "This is something I did for fun after playing with the old headband. You see if it works." 20 minutes after watching the file, Wu Shen sent, and Huang's expression became extremely shocked, thinking he was a noob, but actually a hidden master, to the point where she exclaimed, "Even I'm not sure if I fully understand it myself. Damn it, you made this game, didn't you?" Wu Shen seems to have known the expression of the other person at this time. He replied, "So, and Huang, do you want to play with me?" And Huang replied, "How do I play the game with you?" And Huang's eyes now seemed excited. A message from Wu Shen. "The information I found all indicates that you are male, but I know you are actually a girl. You have had a talent for computers since you were young, but you have had to endure too much malice from the world. Others curse you as a computer scum or a despicable programmer, but even if you become #1 in the world, you can only stay at home and hide behind the computer screen with the network cable." Seeing the other party wavering, Wu Shen affirmed, "If you play with me, first of all, I can ensure that you will not feel bored, lonely, and truly have interesting things for you. Second, I can help you become a more real person, rather than behind the network cable. Currently, for An Huang, this is a God-given opportunity for him to step into the real world, but now..." An Huang, with a skeptical expression, asks, "A bit worried, but who do you think you are?" Wu Shen replies, "It seems that communicating online is not very effective, so let's meet in person to talk." And Huang messages, "Are you stupid? Can you chat without going through the network cable?" Wu Shen messages, "Really, then should I knock on the door or enter the house through the window?" After reading the message, and Huang's room door immediately knocked, making her jump in shock. And Huang instinctively shrunk back. She exclaimed, Hey, I'm not even wearing pants. What do you want?" She quickly ran to find pants to put on. As she returned, a message popped up on the computer screen. "Open the door and order a nutritious meal, instead of just eating pizza all year round." And Huang embarrassedly said loudly, "Hey, when did you install the monitoring system?" Wu Shen laughed and replied, "Haha, who asked you to turn your house into a smart home? It's interesting when everything is connected to the internet, but you're afraid of being hacked, and I happen to know a little about this. See you later, colleague." And Huang playfully scolded, "Who is your colleague? Who wants to see you, you pervert?" 40 minutes later, Wu Shen followed the address to meet and Huang. He said, "Why did you eat the food I ordered? Are you afraid it's poisoned?" Wu Shen jokingly replied, "Because I want to be your colleague, so I can't poison you." Meeting Wu Shen, and Huang stood stunned. She never expected that this guy was truly handsome to this extent. But she reminded herself, No, now is not the time to think about this weird guy. She asked, "Hey, it's strange that you came to my house in the middle of the night. You look familiar. Did we just meet online a few minutes ago?" Wu Shen calmly replied, "We will definitely become partners. We should call ourselves friends." The girl didn't know what to say, but she was extremely cute. Wu Shen was immediately drawn to the smart cat ear device and said, "By the way, yours is not working. I will help you adjust it." He took out a toolbox and said, "For so many years, besides sleeping, you work on the computer, have neck and shoulder pain, really need massage therapy, but you don't want to go out and only write code and have poor practical skills. It's surprising that someone as curious as you can use these things easily." Seeing the change in address, and Huang asked lovingly, "Ah, just now we were partners and friends. Why suddenly call me sister? Don't you dare to leave without explanation." Wu Shen said, "I've fixed it. Come and try it out." And Huang was surprised when Wu Shen put on her. She said, "You just finished saying it, but you've already fixed it." "Oh, but this feeling is really comfortable." Wu Shen said, "However, a machine is still a machine. It cannot replace a human." Next came the time to show skills. When he took off his shirt, she immediately exclaimed in surprise and embarrassment, "What? What? What are you doing?" Wu Shen said, "I will take you to experience the outside world, to try the true beauty of ancient traditional methods of opening the meridians. My dear, please come to bed and enjoy." And Huang also obediently lay down. She said, "Sister, what? What is this?" From one task to another. When she felt his arm close to her, she quickly said, "Ah, no." He didn't let her finish her sentence. Wu Shen began a massage with physical therapy. A sudden strong press from him made Huang unable to adapt in time and moaned in the night. "Ah, ah."